Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope that you're having a phenomenal day out there. I can't speak for you, but sometimes do you ever feel like you have those days that you wake up or you're just going through the motions and everything just feels good? Today's one of those days for me. I hope that, in some part, perhaps in totality, maybe even just a percentage, it's like that for you as well. Hopefully something's just going right out there for you. Today, we're going to listen to Steve Reich. We're going to listen to this piece, Sextet. This was originally first performed and written in 1984. We're listening to this because it was suggested and sponsored by Alan. Alan, thank you so much for the recommendation and for the support. And I think that this had also been suggested by a few others as well. Let me just check here really quick, if you don't mind. I'm quite sure. Mentioned as well by 315 Mikey as well. I see you there. So thank you so much for the recommendation as well. We listened to Octet a while back, and now it's time to listen to this one, Sextet. You also mentioned that in this, I'm going to be able to hear how Perotine had influenced Reich here, which I'm very curious to hear. That was a really cool piece of music we listened to there. So really enjoying all the classical and classical adjacent kind of music that we've been exploring recently, and I'm excited to dive into this one. So let me go ahead and pull it up here. We have the YouTube video up. I'm gonna full screen it. It may start before I even switch over. Oh, it didn't. That's good. All right, here we go, guys. Say this is a cool opening with the chords and the sustained notes coming underneath. That's really cool. Sounds like raindrops just falling on leaves. Constantly adding little bits to it. hear strings right beneath that, can't you? I like how that rang a change throughout the entire melody. Always filling in inside the melodies too. Great panning and production. I like how that. Never mind. Never mind. I'm trying to count it out. It changed. It was like six something for a second. It's playing in six, even when those changes pop up. How cool to allow this other sound to breathe into this. This is like a constant lullaby of sorts, an active lullaby. Like a clock. Fill it in. something jazzy about that. Huh. This is a really cool piece. I love that glassy sound that's reverberating. The beat change there, the groove. That is really cool. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Nice change in the chorus there. It dropped. Striking on those stronger notes. You can feel the pianist like striking them. Very direct attack. Was his third movement. Every change it comes in with something harsh. Still in 6. Sextet 6. Oh my god, I just got it. Because I'm counting in 6, I just got it. kid is dancing right here, and then it plays 12 bars there, or 12 like hits. And then it's shifting between 6 and 12. I messed up that one. It's kind of a reoccurrence of that previous part that I said was kind of jazzy. This is such a cool, exciting piece of music to me. Change there. That one hits in 5. This sounds like a merry-go-round, but just not as merry as it used to be. It's like celebratory coming out of the dark here. Because that section kind of droned, but this is picking it back up now. In a fun way, too. Filling it in, man. That was really cool. I enjoyed most of that. Like 80% of that, I really enjoyed. And nothing in here I disliked. But can I just say that that was a really cool, like, epic of minimalism and of Steve Reich and the music. There's a few things I want to say, like, so quick off the bat. First of all, I don't know what time it was in the video, but I had a realization, and I think that this is on purpose. It's called Sextet, and it took me a while when I was counting some of the music to realize, oh, you can count a lot of this in sixes. And like even some of the hits that would come in, where you could count those in sixes. So I'm assuming that was on purpose. I'm assuming that's perhaps what sextet means. But like I thought that that was such a cool thing. And like listening to the way that he fills in the gaps in the melodies was amazing and so cool. Okay, so while at one point while the song was going, or the piece of music was going, I was messing with something over here. I'll show you exactly what that is. But the most impressive thing to me is the way that he would fill in those gaps of melodies. You would have one melody with a space somewhere in between that, and then in an unexpected parts of the music, he would fill it in with another melody. And then in an unexpected part, there would be another melody that fit in between that. And so before you know it, as the whole measure goes into full realization, it's just filled with a density of melody. But it's still very spacious in its own way because of the places and the composition of where those notes fill and fit in. And as I was listening to the music, especially in the beginning, this is an ambient music, right? But can I tell you the phrase that came to mind as I was listening to this was restless ambient. Because it kind of hits a similar stride in that, you know, besides some of the more dramatic moments, which there are a few, like it stays at a pretty low level. But at the same time, there's so many notes and so many things happening that it almost seems restless. Like it's constantly moving, although it's trying to sleep. It's almost like it's tossing and turning in its sleep. There's something relaxing about it, but also something restless about it. So it kind of hit that dynamic that I thought was really interesting to listen to. And like, especially in the beginning, I'm just pulling up the music here, so the volume might, you know, be a little loud, but here it comes. Like after the beginning, because the beginning starts off dramatic, but then it cools down. This is like a lullaby sound of the percussion. I'm assuming it's marimba, vibraphone, something. We'll look into that. But as it played further on, to me, it hits the same tones of like an ambient track, but just a little bit more action. And here's what I was messing with, and this is the what I was thinking of. Because of the way the melodies kept on filling in, the notes kept on being brought in, it reminded me of either one of those Russian dolls, or of like a daruma, right? So you're like, this is the melody. And before you know it, there's another melody. Now you have two melodies. This one's a little twisted. The wrong way. There we go. Like it's inside, right? Up before you know it. Guess what? There's another melody. All of a sudden, like there's just so many melodies happening, going on, right? And then before you know it, there's another melody. There's melodies inside of melodies inside of melodies, and he just keeps fitting them inside, and you don't know how. And then before you know it, you're like, this one's so tiny. How can you fit? Like, you know, this is a little tiny compared to the microphone. And then, there's one more melody. Like, it's just so cool how he continuously fits in these melodies. I have them all out, so I had to pop them back in together to do that. It's just so cool how he fits more melodies inside of the main one. And then when he reaches this one, you know what he does? He basically starts over. He starts over, puts it all back together, sometimes changing the direction now, and then does that again. And just rotating and rotating, cycling through it, but changing the sound. So like I heard that it sounds like there's at least 4 movements in here. I wasn't paying complete attention to all of them, but you can kind of hear the little spaces that happened. One of them happened around 10:36, and it was kind of dramatic. It kind of, in my opinion, it had a little bit of a jazziness to it. Let me just move a little bit forward in the first movement here, just so we can get an idea of like where it was going. And this just sounds like raindrops hitting leaves in the jungle. I love that sustained, deeper note coming up and rising in like a breath. But it was around 10:30 10:30 that the change happened. I think it was around 10:30 because I was trying to catch it. There. Harsh, right? Almost playing like the beginning to an extent. This sounds to me, the imagery that I got was a ballet dancer lone on the stage. The stage is barely lit. Mostly she's enshrouded in darkness. And there's almost a backdrop of a cityscape back there. But once again, barely glowing in blue. It's very dark there. And the notes are her tiptoes on the stage, just delicately floating across this dark stage. That's what I got listening to this part. Not the heavy parts, but more so after this, I should say. Here. Like, can you guys see kind of like that? I just thought that was so cool, that transition there, because it changed into something dramatic, but the notes for some reason felt kind of jazzy to me, and yet it felt like the dancer on the keys was just tiptoeing and gliding effortlessly across the stage in really, really beautiful fashion. And, yes, there's those moments where, like if you've gone to a ballet or any show, you hear when they jump up, and if they're not doing like a light jump, they jump up or they make a noise, and you can hear them when they land on the stage, and it has kind of that, like you can hear that thump on the stage, right? It's just people landing back on the ground. The thumps that were happening in that section reminded me of that part as the ballerina moves across the stage and jumps over this part. Then you hear her feet and then over here. And I thought that was so cool. And I like how this evolves as well. And that percussion kind of adds a certain kind of rhythm to the piece. And the piece is very rhythmic, throughout. But before it was kind of more reliant on the percussion and the melodies and such. Now we actually get a little bit of a thump back there. Like, this was just so lovely. This was probably my favorite section here. With these glassy notes just kind of wafting across the stage as piano plays. This was gorgeous. And you still have the thumps back in there, echoing through the dark. That's awesome. And then later on, this was probably one of the more harsh sections here. And I like I said, I may be wrong, because some of it didn't exactly come out to 6. But in a lot of this, you can kind of count 6 in it. Which is kind of cool. And then by the end, we kind of return kind of to where we began in an extent to the beginning with the marimbas and such. But I think that was a very impressive piece as a whole to listen to. I just think it was cool to be taken on that journey. And I think it had the right amount of drama and theatrics in its own way. It kept to its theme and what it was accomplishing. But it also kind of, for me, I can't speak for you, but it was also very relaxing and just a beautiful piece of music. I think that it all worked really well and it fit really well. What I was getting at when I said like I enjoyed 80% of it was by 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm not done. I'm just, what's the word? I was like, okay, I feel like I was satisfied. That's actually the best way to say it. I was satisfied by 20 minutes. And part of me was like, okay, 6 minutes left. It's fine. I wasn't astounded at the last 6 minutes as I was in the first 20. But it wasn't like a bad thing. It wasn't, honestly, barely even worth mentioning. Let's look at the Wikipedia page for this. It was written, like I said, in 1984, slightly revised in 85. As the title indicates, it's written for an ensemble of 6. Well, I was wrong then. 4 percussionists and 2 keyboardists. The percussionists play at various times 3 marimbas, 2 vibraphones, 2 bass drums, kratals, sticks, and tam-tam. What's a kratal? Oh, okay, it's like tiny little cymbals, basically. It's kind of interesting. 2 percussionists double on piano during the opening pulse section. Yeah, it's a heavy pulsation. The keyboardists play both pianos and synths set to an electronic organ sound. The piece is broken into 5 movements and, like many other Reich compositions, has an arch form, A, B, C, B, A. It rises up the hill, then it walks you down the hill. The paired movements share a tempo and a particular cycle of chords. The cycle uses dominant chords with added tones to give it a darker, more chromatic sound, much like Reich's previous piece, The Desert Music. It plays with 2 aspects of music. First, it tries to overcome natural acoustic limitations of percussion instruments. Vibraphones are normally incapable of sustaining pitches at the same volume like wind or string instruments. They act much like a piano, where notes are struck, allowed to ring, and they eventually decay. To counter this, he employs the extended technique of bowing the bars with a bass bow. It's interesting. Bowing the bars with a bass bow. So he uses the bow to, like a bow, graze against the bars. It's kind of interesting. A similar limitation in the percussion section is countered by the use of synths. At the time Sextet was written, keyboard percussion instruments capable of reaching into the bass range were not widely available. To give more depth in the lower pitch ranges, the bass drum is employed with doubling from the pianos and synths. Second, the piece plays with ambiguity. In the third movement, a basic 12-beat pattern is ambiguous between a division to 3 and it's a 4. In other parts of the piece, that the line that was the melody becomes the accompaniment. Yeah, because you can hear the like a new melody come in a part like upon that, even though the actual notes don't change. I'm kind of curious about. I want to see him using the bow on there. We're gonna really quickly find a performance live, and although I won't show the video much on screen due to copyright, because the last few times I've done some sort of reaction with video, I get in trouble. But I want to see if I can find. I'm on Vic Firth. Like I would love to watch this video, but I want to see if we can see. I want to see that performance though. There. Okay, I'm skipping ahead just so we can. What a cool idea and what an innovative way to. Okay, you have a limitation. How can we defy this limitation? How can we go against it and actually progress? This is progressive. That is actually really awesome. How smart is that? That's extremely innovative. This was such a cool piece to listen to. This was fantastic. I had a great time listening to this. Can I see the middle part really quick? I just want to see. This is so beautiful. This section right here. I'm sorry, but like this impresses me. That impresses me. That's fantastic. That's really, really good. I got to put these guys away. Let me know what you guys thought, of course, in the comments down below. Alan, great recommendation. This was really cool to listen to. I enjoyed that a lot. I can't get over. I know it's a small thing, but I can't get over them using the bow on the vibes and on the marimba and such. I think that is just such a smart idea to do that, and like it makes sense. Like, of course, it makes sense to do that. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Come back tomorrow. I will see you later. Bye.